I'm Scott Russell, and on today's episode of Love Augusta, we're learning more about the Brown Beauty Magic, Doriane's character company, and here are two of the co-founders to tell us a little bit more about their story.
Hi, I'm Angela Prince. I'm co-founder.
I'm Angel Smith, her daughter and co-founder.
Nice.
And what we like to do is just tell you a little bit about Brown Beauty Magic and how we got started. So about approximately 2 years ago, Angela and I saw a need at the library off of Laney Walker, the Wallace Branch Library. And they were having a hard time getting people to come in to get library cards. And so we were like, we can help with that.
Yeah.
Right? So what we did was we dressed up Angel as Princess Tiana.
Nice.
And we dressed her up as a Bayou princess. And we were like, well, we'll just go out there and, help, try to get some people to come get library cards. And we weren't really thinking of anything about it, right? And we really wanted to focus on, bringing more people of color in that area because that's the focus of children in that area. They don't have people that come out.
Right.
They can't really see people of color doing big things in that area. So we were like, well, let's just go, downtown and help them out. So we started to do that. And what was funny is that we didn't have her face on a poster. We kind of just did a basic, Bayou princess. She's going to be here from this time to this time. And our founder, Doriane Scales, saw that because somebody asked her if she was doing it. She used to work for another princess company.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. So she wanted to branch out and start her own company too. Because what was her mission? What did she want to do?
She wanted to have people see themselves because the POC princesses that we have does not represent us as a community. You can see we look very different,
right.
Different shades. So she wanted everyone to see themselves, and that was her mission for everybody to see themselves as a character.
And the princess company that she worked for always put her as Princess Tiana. But she was like, I want to be a different character. I want to be more than just Princess Tiana. I want to be different characters. And so that was one thing that she really, really wanted to focus on.
Nice.
So she reached out to us and she was like, you guys are kind of doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we are. She was like, well, let's kind of do it together.
I was going to say, that's the same way Love Augusta got started. So that's it. Sometimes the best things happen. Right. And so that first time you dressed up as a princess, did you know right then and there, like, this is what y'all wanted to do for a business?
Well, I did theater before, so I did theater locally. I've done theater locally with a few companies around here. So theater has always been something that I'm interested in. So it's a good gateway for me. It was a good gateway for me into doing something that I've always wanted to do. For sure.
And so y'all do parties, events. How many characters do y'all currently have?
So we have a whole host of characters. It was funny because it was just me, Doriane, and Angel, and we only had like 3 characters at the time. And I think one day we got double booked, and we were so excited because that was crazy for us. But I think one time we were at the library, though, we were sitting there with a young mother, and she started crying, and we were like, "Why are you crying?" And she was like, this is amazing that I have this opportunity for my daughter because when I was a little girl, I didn't have any representation.
Right.
I didn't have a Princess Tiana.
That's when you knew you were doing something right.
I would say that's a time that stuck with us and that we do talk about often because that's really where I personally was like, oh my goodness, like we have to keep doing this. Like we have to continue doing this because it's making even adults feel some type of way, and that's just beautiful to us.
Wow, that's awesome.
Definitely.
So I heard there may be a chance I may get into character today.
Maybe. We have a couple of things we'd like for you to try on.
Yes.
I think it's going to be amazing.
Well, I love getting in character, so let's go do it. I'm here with Alex and Catherine and their 2 cast members, and they're going to tell us a little bit more about what it's like to be a cast member while I get into costume.
All right, so today I am the Little Mermaid.
And I am Cinderella.
And it's really just overall a fun job. you literally just get to play dress up, but it is a lot of fun just to get to see the kids so happy and adults as well. You'd be surprised with how many adults we have come up to us and are like, oh my gosh, you're my favorite princess. We do like to do a lot of volunteer with less fortunate communities. So getting to be with kids who don't really get to see that a lot is really fun and just making them happy.
Honestly, working as a cast member with Brown Beauty Magic has been one of the best things that could happen to me. It's made me feel more appreciative of what I have, and it's also given me a dream to be a princess like I've always wanted to be. So working here, it's amazing. It's amazing cast, it's amazing owners. Doriane's dream was one of the biggest things that could change the world, in my opinion.
Ta-da!
So before we get a little bit more into our fun here, I'm gonna give you guys a more detailed experience of what it's like to be a cast member. When I go out, I get this feeling of joy when I get to see the children. They come up to me and they're like, oh my goodness, you look like me. I never seen that before. That is the most heartfelt experience I can have dealing with just anybody in my life. I feel that working with Brown Beauty Magic also gives the adults that magical experience when they get to come and they're like, I never had this before. This is so new. You look like me, and that brings joy to my heart. And that also will just lightens up my mood. And it keeps me going to what my goal is to do here.
And I'm going to explain what it's like to kind of get into costume. And while I'm doing that, we actually have a costume for Scott to get into.
Yes, another costume.
Okay.
And so this is going to be...
This is going to be my prince, also known Prince Charming.
So these are really nice costumes, and it starts off...
So first, well, this is how I get ready, which hopefully this is how we all get ready. I usually start off with my makeup. Usually takes me about 30, 45 minutes, just depending on which character.
Totally.
Yeah, I can tell. Depending on which character I'm being. And then, we do the costume. Usually we wear like a little corset under it, which can be annoying sometimes.
It can be. You don't have to do that.
I was just about to say, I didn't sign up for that.
But like I said, makeup takes about 30, 45 minutes, and then getting into costume is pretty easy, depending on which costume it is. We have these giant dresses,
Me too.
which are not easy to put on.
They're not.
I imagine pretty heavy.
Yes,
they are
they
pretty
are
heavy.
pretty heavy.
They might add a couple pounds
The
to
Mickey
me, but-
costume was pretty hot, so I can imagine it's pretty hot for y'all as well.
So we do have a hoop and usually a petticoat that goes under it, which adds the extra layers.
Wow.
And then we put on the skirt. We have a corset top usually, and then comes time for the wig, which is the most important part. And then that's about it. And then
So this
is our suit jacket for you.
There you go.
man, I already feel like a prince.
Wow, you look like a prince. Wow, that looks really good on you.
It's almost like it was meant to be.
I think so.
So, who's losing a shoe tonight? Alex mentioned a wig. Is there something that I get to put on?
You don't quite get a wig, but you do get something about the equivalent of it.
Yes.
And now you are royalty.
The outfit is complete. We've talked about being a character. We've talked about getting into character. Why don't y'all tell us about some of the events y'all have coming up?
Sure. So we have a lot of partnerships in the community. One is the Hub of Augusta.
Oh, that place is
Innovation.
awesome.
Yes, it's beautiful. I happen to know somebody that works there. It was me. But anyway, I work for Rise Augusta, actually. And Rise Augusta has many, many events there, which is awesome. So one is a back to school event that we're having on Saturday. But we have lots of events during the year. We have a carnival, and they're really good about having us come out. We do a lot of face painting there too.
Yes, we're going to be doing that this Saturday as well. We're going to be face painting and we're going to be singing.
Nice.
Yes, so we are going to be performing. So at the Hub, you can go to the website and go to our social media, and you can see what we're going to be doing there. And also on the 31st of this month, but every month, the last working business day of the month is shower day at the Department of Health off of Lady Walker.
Right. Okay.
And so we have been there the last 3 shower days. And we brought princesses and princes and stuff there to just entertain the kids, do our face painting and everything like that.
That is so
we would
much
love
fun.
to give back to our community. And then Angel, tell them a little bit about the Children's Hospital.
Okay, so the Children's Hospital is something that I did personally. I went there once a month, and so I started including some of our castmates into going. And so I dress up as many different characters and I go and visit the kids at the children's hospitals. It is very heartwarming because those are some of the most sweetest kids you will ever meet.
I bet.
Like, really.
And you truly are doing an amazing thing for the community by going in there and just giving the kids a little bit of hope. So that's
Right.
really awesome. Y'all
Thank
do
you
so much in the
We
community.
do. And there's so much more that we want to do. So we're really trying to get into more fundraising and get into, having people come and give to us because there's things like we want to start doing community birthdays. So there's a lot of kids that their parents cannot afford to give them birthdays. So we want to do a community one. So if it's your birthday that month, you can come and you'll have princesses and characters celebrate you.
Neato.
So that'll be really, really a lot of fun. And then on top of that, every month we really want to donate a birthday to a special needs child. So we'll have them invite them to, kind of tell us their story, and then we'll give them a birthday for free. So there's just things that we want to do for our community because it's really important for us.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of kids that can't afford to go to Disney World.
Right, that's true.
Disneyland,
That is very
right?
true. Yeah.
And so for us to provide that for
Bring
them,
it to them.
you're exactly right. We'd like to bring it to them. So
That is so awesome. I really love to see people giving back to the community. Augusta's a really amazing place, and it's really awesome to just have some support going. So
I just wanted to tell you too a little bit about, we were talking about Doriane Scales. Doriane Scales was a really good friend of ours. And we loved her very much. She did struggle with mental health. And then she did end her own life. About a little over a year ago. And we were begged by her family to continue her mission. And that's why we're still around because we were just going to stop.
And
it's
us
just too important.
personally, we just thought what she had was so important that we wanted to take it up ourselves as well.
Right.
And so me and her, I know I am the owner, but really we're a community. Our whole cast member works together to make her dream come true.
Yeah.
well, I think she would be very proud of how y'all are continue to carry the torch for her. It's just really cool to hear that.
Thank you so much. So in September is Suicide Prevention Month. So in September, we're going to have a Bridgerton tea party to raise funds.
Oh,
And some of those funds we're going to donate to suicide awareness. So we'd like to do that in Dorian's name. Her mom is actually going to be there to say a few words about Dorian because Dorian lives on through us.
Yes.
And that's why we included her name in Brown Beauty Magic, Dorian's character company, because that was not the original name.
right.
So we always want to say her name. We always want to keep her forward. And she's just, the basic magic
Yes.
to us. And I know that she's still with us today. Oh, Cinderella.
I was going to say, speaking of Bridgerton, I kind of may
Yes.
need to get a little.
We may need to get you in costume so you could probably.
I'm really loving all these costumes.
Oh, that's
my
beautiful.
Perfect
Oh, you're gorgeous.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
queen.
you.
Yes, queen,
Our
yes.
queen- wait.
Oh, curtsy.
Beautiful.
Oh, wait. No.
No, you're the queen. You don't do that.
Yeah, you just stay there.
Right, Cinderella. But thank you so much.
Yes, definitely. And thank you all so much for what you do in the community. Thank you so much for letting me come play dress up today with y'all. And Ariel, Cinderella, if y'all want to come in here. And we all just want to say thank you so much. And be sure to check out Brown Beauty Magic.